Hey guys, this is my review of the second Ring of Honor Wrestling episode, the episode that aired on October the 1st, 2011. Of course, as I explained in the last review, I'm basically catching up to all the shows, so please don't get angry going like, oh, why are you reviewing past episodes? You should be doing current episodes, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, we start in the ring with Jim Cornette. He's interviewing wrestling's greatest tag team, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. He congratulates both men on a successful title defense against the Kings of Wrestling. And he talks about how the Briscoe brothers are wanting to have Haas and Benjamin. Well, Benjamin and Haas are saying that they want Jay and Mark. However, Benjamin complains about how he had never been beaten up so bad as he did that night and at the Best in the World event. Jim Cornette explained that they each got a $5,000 fine from that brutal beating. And he says also that the Briscoes will not compete against Haas and Benjamin unless the titles are on the line. So Charlie Haas said, we'll put the belts on the line if the Briscoes want, if they want us. And Jim Cornette said, no, we are not going to reward two guys who beat the crap out of you by giving them a tag team title shot. And Haas and Benjamin got really upset, scared Cornette away. So we now go to a segment profiling the prodigy, Mike Bennett. Jim Cornette talks about him a little bit, and Mike Bennett and Brutal Bob, but mostly Mike Bennett, talk. And Mike Bennett says that he's got goals beyond wrestling. He wants to be on the big screen. He says that he's the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the next Sylvester Stallone. He's the next Rock. And he even goes as far as to say that he has more wrestling ability than The Rock. Jim Cornette says that Mike Bennett has very good talent. His only thing is his ego is way too big. So after that nice little profile, and coming back from commercial, we have our first match of the show, Jimmy Jacobs against Mike Bennett. In the corner of Mike Bennett, obviously Brutal Bob. In the corner of Jimmy Jacobs is Steve Corino. This match seemed a little underwhelming. I mean, it was like a meh kind of match. Although Jacobs, both men got some good offense in, really good time. The end of the match comes when Jacobs attempts the back senton. Bennett brings up the knees. And then Bennett gets up and he hits sort of a side slam, which he calls the box office smash. Bennett goes over. After the match, they shake hands, and then Bennett sort of rubs Corino's head, pushes Corino a little bit, and Jacobs has to hold Corino back, because Corino wants to kick his ass. So now we go to Inside ROH, where this week we talk about Eddie Edwards and the two competitors in the next episode's main event. So they talk with Eddie Edwards, and they ask him, how did he get the nickname Die Hard? Well, he explained that in an event in Boston, he had broken his elbow. Now, this was about 2.5 years ago. He had broken his elbow, had gone to the hospital that night, and they were thinking about having an operation on the elbow that night. However, Eddie Edwards did not. He had a big wrap around his arm, and trust me, it is huge. And he talks about how, the next night was New York City with the ladder war. Richards and Edwards win, state champs. And then that night, he has the operation done on his elbow. And he says that the doctor says that he should be out of action for 6 months. And he's only out of action for 9 weeks. And that shows you how dedicated Eddie Edwards is to the world of professional wrestling. So then we get comments from both Davey Richards and Roderick Strong, who will be competing in the next episode, as it will be for the Ring of Honor World Title. Davey Richards says that while his rivalry with Eddie Edwards is about respect and athleticism, his with Roderick Strong is just pure hate, because Roderick Strong does not respect Davey Richards and does not respect the sport of wrestling. And Roderick Strong comes back and he's like, yeah, I'm a beep. And, he's like, I'm around, with girls. I go to all the parties. And Davey Richards is with his team and his dogs. And it really was a good segment to hype up the title match for the next episode. So we come back and it is feature time. It is our main event. Jay Lethal challenging El Generico for the Ring of Honor World Television title. Now, they used the old NWA rules when they used to have the TV title, where it was a 15-minute time limit. This was a very, very good match. It starts off with a little bit of chain wrestling. Generico hits a Hurricane Rana on Lethal, and then a couple of minutes later, Lethal hits a Hurricane Rana on El Generico, and it really is a very good match. It stays in the ring and goes out of the ring a little bit, not too much. Generico at one point hits a dive, a top rope tope on the Lethal, and then during the break they show El Generico hitting a moonsault off the top of the guardrail, which was really good. I mean, he hit that really well. So we go back into the ring. I'll get to the finish of the match. Generico, or actually, no, you know what? At one point, I did want to mention this. This was a very cool move. Lethal ties up the legs of El Generico, and he pulls him back, and he's got his feet up on Generico, and it's like he's got his arms like this, and he's pulling him back, and it was a really cool submission move. I really don't know what the name of that move is. If someone could tell me, it looked really painful, but it was really cool. So the end of the match, Generico attempts for the Yakuza kick. Lethal blocks it. Lethal tries a suplex. Generico blocks it. Generico tries a suplex. It gets blocked. The bell rings. The 15-minute time limit is up. It's a draw. However, Generico and Lethal both go to the referee, and they both want additional time. They want additional time. They want to continue this match, and the fans are chanting, 5 more minutes, 5, So Jim Cornette comes back out and he says, look, we can't give you 5 minutes. However, we got 3 minutes of television time left. We will give you 3 minutes, and whoever wins in the 3 minutes is the winner. So they give him the 3 minutes, and as soon as the bell rings, both men start punching at each other, and the crowd is just on their feet. They are just going absolutely crazy with this. Generico hits a Yakuza kick at one point, and then hits a half Nelson suplex. 1, 2, Lethal kicks out of that. And then Generico attempts a brain buster, but Lethal blocks that. Lethal hits an elbow drop. 1, 2, Generico kicks out of that. And then the end of the match comes where Generico again attempts a Yakuza kick. Lethal kicks him with a super kick, and then he hits him with his finishing move, the Lethal Injection, which is a backbreaker STO combination. 1, 2, 3. Jay Lethal wins, is the new Ring of Honor World Television Champion, and that is episode number 2 of Ring of Honor Wrestling. What did I think of that episode altogether? I thought this was a good episode. This was a very good episode. I liked the opening segment with the interview with the tag champs, the profile on Mike Bennett, and they did a really good job on that. They make you hate this guy. They really, they make you want to hate him, beat him up. I loved the TV title match. Loved that match. That was a very, very good wrestling match. And, it really was a very, very good television title match. New TV champ at this point in time. Remember, this aired October the 1st. Very good segments all around. The only thing I didn't like was the Jacobs-Bennett match. It just seemed a little weird, but they did a good job, I felt, with Mike Bennett making him this disgusting heel, thinking of himself and how he's going to go out of wrestling and become a movie star. But all in all, very good episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling here, especially for the TV title match. And the next episode I will be reviewing has the Ring of Honor World title match, Davey Richards defending the belt against Roderick Strong.